Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. Always. It's funny how the only thing or the only entity I can completely rely on is the Father. And I am hard on myself. I am very hard on myself, man. I judge the shit out of me. I really do. I keep trying to tell myself, well, that's the human element left in you, son. That's just the human element that's left. And I be trying to scratch it out of me. I'm done with the human experience, so there's no more need for whatever is left of the human element that lives within me. Can we just get down to brass tacks here? No one is interested in the human element. It rarely even crosses their mind. Hell, their own mortality doesn't cross their minds until it's right there. That's when it crosses their mind. As long as it's not there, they they all assume they're gonna wake up in the morning. They go to bed with this assumption, fully, no matter what. Never understanding that the very men, and sometimes women, who they hate the most are the very ones who make it possible for them to sleep peacefully in their beds. That is the truth. Without the masculinity and let me put it this way. There are bad men, then there are bad men. Okay? If you remove one bad man, then the other bad man, it sets shit off balance in the entire ecosystem. So you have to have both bad men out there. You need one bad man to deal with the other bad man. And that's why your ass sleep peacefully at night. What you consider bad. But this is bad. Because without them, you won't be sleeping peacefully at night. This is a fact. If you remove them 75 years ago, you would not be sleeping peacefully tonight. But the very same man, and I'm going to stick to man, I don't know why, but I'm going to stick to man, you now want to somehow demasculinize. Did I just make up a word? If so, we should have it patented and possibly coined. Okay? If I made it up. It sounded like a already in use word. But anyway, I've already started my drift. The human experience, or the lack thereof, is what I'm really after. The human experience or the lack thereof. I settled on the lack thereof. See, the human experience was never offered to me at 100%. No, it never was. It took a lot of decades for me to finally see that I would never have it offered to me at 100%. It's like the equivalent of someone giving you half of a $50 bill or something like that. Anyway, what's the state of the union? What, you thought I was going to stay talking about that? I had you, didn't I? What is the state of the union in America? Can you imagine any politician giving the state of the union address today? I wouldn't want to be the one that do it. I mean, they would have to push me out there. I know that this is my duty, but what you want me to say? What am I supposed to say here? There's absolutely nothing good to say to the masses. Nothing. What we have. I mean, just on a political level. Just on the political level. And to get to the sociological level and the geopolitical level, I mean, it starts to look like a conflagration. Even now, I can safely say that politically, you look like Sudan. Allow me to explain. Sudan has so many different disparate groups of people. I don't know how you solve the problem. You got at least six different nomadic or semi-nomadic groups of people, tribes, bigger than tribes, nations with, oh man, and competing along not only racial lines, but religious lines, food resource, water, and with the invading religion, two invading religions. One is Christianity and the other one is Islam, and everybody is banned. Neither of them born there. Both of them imports. Both of them imports to the Africa, to the African. Both religions are imports. Think about that a minute. Imports. You see how many people dying from the imports? Anyway, moving ahead. The State of the Union. Exploding deficits. Does anyone even care? I mean, what is it now? 36 trillion? I mean, are we just, we used to have a deficit clock. We used to have a deficit clock that they would show on the TV to show which way the deficit was actually going. And they would fight over it. How do we get the deficit down? Not anymore. Someone came along and said, that's how you run your house. This is not a house. This is the government that's not even a government. This government is a business. And by the way, you lost your country. Let me say this again. It sounds like a digression, but wherever you see that word of, city of, United States of, what does of mean? I've been trying to wrap my legal mind around that title for like a year. What is this damn of? Well, I need someone who think like me. I mean, because it sounds like it's so much legal jargon. It is legal jargon. It's jargon, but it's not boilerplate. This is new. They sit down. You know how many lawyers sit at a damn table and talked about how to rob you blind? All your politicians are lawyers. If you didn't know, you know now. And when I think lawyer, I think liar. Not every last one of them, but the statement will still hold true. Lawyer, liar, liar, lawyer. This is why this nation never wanted lawyers. What you thought? That lawyers are written into the Constitution? No. In fact, it was illegal to represent someone else for money. You could get your ass in jail. But once again, there's something wrong with that. We got to make money. You ain't doing no damn work. Yeah, I know, but I read these books. I should be able to go, man, and you've been sliding ever since. But again, exploding the deficits. 1% control more wealth than the bottom 90%. 15 years ago, it was the bottom 50%. Now it is the bottom 90. Half of all workers work for less than a living wage. All workers. The new business model is become to exploit the working class as a business model. exploit those who have to spend money. See, there's two types of people economically and capitalistically, and two different systems. One class have to spend money. One class only spend money if they want to because they got lots of it. They loot and they have this luxury of not having to spend money. You can't get money from someone who doesn't have to spend money as a business. It can be done. So what do? The market is those who must spend money, have to spend money. Okay? You are the market, and they are the drivers of it. That's a strange statement that someone who is not actively involved in the market, as in transacting day to day, are now the drivers of the market. That's what money will do. Money and greed, and a couple of other things. Money and greed. You are stuck somewhere between feudalism. Wait a minute. Let me get my head right here. Because economically, I don't know what to even call it. Capitalistic feudalism. You have the rich openly telling you that you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Think about that. You have them telling you openly that they're going to wipe out every job. And I might add, these are not the brightest people. No, they got money. That is their claim to fame. Can neither of them point, well, maybe one, point to some degree, no, daddy left me millions and billions of dollars. So therefore, I got the right to tell you what to do. Now, normally I would stab a man for that type of attitude in a drunken bar fight. I mean, I just got to stab this dude. Did he just say what he said? He openly said that he stands above us because his daddy is a millionaire. His daddy is a billionaire. And might I add that they like a lot of dope. And might I add they have certain sexual perversions amongst other weird characteristics. This is why, if you notice, the rich are quiet. All your famous actors are quiet because they're on the chopping block. All your politicians don't want to talk to you. They don't even want to have a public meeting. They don't even want to go back home to their constituents and meet with them because they're getting the same response, some form of, get the fuck out of here. You fucked the country up. We are not happy. And they saying this openly. We don't want to do these meetings. They can't take it. They can't take it. But you somewhere, listen, you somewhere between the tendencies, Machiavellian tendency by your rulers and George Orwell's 1984. Some weirded out dystopian, futuristic, not gonna work, unsustainable, socially engineered society as far away from natural as possible on purpose. On purpose. And in the midst of all of this, they all have their knives out. This is the State of the Union. Don't get lost. In the middle of this, there's tens of thousands of residents, I don't know what to call them, marching in the street with the insistence that the law be broken or set aside on their behalf. This is just the State of the Union. In the midst of this, you have a multitude of executive orders. In the midst of this, and I haven't even got, man, I don't even want to get to the geopolitical aspect. I got to slow down. I'm moving too fast. There's certain areas that I'm spilling into that I don't want to spill into. It's my brain. Be careful. You're getting ahead of me now. But in the midst of this, you have been bleeding money, hemorrhaging. Think about this here. I give you, this is just fantastic investing. I got to hang around me some rich folks because you know what? Y'all not making money properly. And I have this theory. If I keep hanging around rich people, I'm going to have some money as long as they don't run my ass off. I'm going to have some money. As long as I'm going to have some money and I'm going to have some ideas because I ain't going to have it any other way. And quite frankly, I don't think they're going to have it any other way, provided that they can't run my black ass off. Then they're going to have to do some different shit, and they will. But anyway, in this socially engineered society, completely controlled and dominated by money, rich people doing whatever they want to, the quote unquote government have failed to control the rich. Failed. Not only failed, but they're taking money from the rich, and in return, the rich are getting trillions of dollars as an investment return. Think about giving a political candidate $1 million, and in return, you get 100 million. I need in on that gain. Now somebody is gonna have to front me the million. I'll be getting it right back. I promise. I won't squander a dime that's going from my hands straight to this man's hands here. He say he can bring me 99 million off this million. Hell yeah, I'm giving him all of it. But I got a pistol if shit go wrong. That's just the old school. That I don't know, man. Just ignore I said that. But this is what's going on. This is what's going on. The State of the Union, nobody represents you. They openly talk about donor bases in your face. They openly speak of donor class. The donor class. Have you been giving them money? Well, then nigga, you ain't gonna get no money. It's pay to play around here. Do you have money to pay? And I use the word nigga most liberally. What I really mean is working class, poor people, struggling every goddamn day. That's what I mean. Have you contributed to your politician? Well, what do you expect? This is a capitalistic society. Everything is for sale. Listen, if you can sell a bottle of water, you can sell their ass too. Let's just be real. And they have sold their ass. I didn't mean it that way. They have sold their soul to the highest bidder. They are openly told what to do. And when people tell the truth about anything, like I heard a guy named Nick say, the Jews run this country. Oh, Lordy, Lord. Oh, everybody wants to clutch their pearls. But I say, prove Nick wrong. Show us who run the country. Show us with the evidence. Prove Nick's statement wrong. Why are we having this argument? Because it's not even semantical. It's barely political. It's bullshit. On one side sits the truth, and on the other side sits those who can't accept it. They see it too, but they feed. They feed off of it, and they have to. There's nothing left to feed off of. This is what happens when you let 6 or 7 or 8 people amass so much wealth that they can buy the government. They control more wealth than some countries do. Think about that. And they weird. I mean, I'm not gonna asperse them. I mean, because money does what it does. I mean, it corrupts. You have to just take my word for it. In the wrong hands, it corrupts. It starts to be like, well, what am I? I'm a billionaire. What am I gonna do today? I don't have shit to do. I don't have to go to work. I don't even have to wash my own dishes. I don't have to mop a floor. I don't have to cut the fucking yard. What? What? And then they started doing stupid shit, like telling you openly, we're going to destroy all your jobs and we're going to give you some money. We, the billionaires and the globalists, which are occult practitioners, also full of dope and weirded out. Full of dope and weirded out. Trust me on this. I'm talking about face down in a plate, in a plate of coke. Cocaine on their nose, mustache, and beard, laughing like they don't even give a fuck. They think that ain't nobody watching. What the hell? What you thought? That addiction? I hate that word. I don't like that word, addiction, because there's no such thing. What you call addiction is actual a spiritual thing. But you label everything. Everything has to have a name, even if you don't understand it. Most of your mental illnesses are not mental illnesses. It's spiritual. Shit, I clunk him in the head a couple of times, he'll get out. But it's against the law to clunk him in the head and say, listen, I know you're in there. I'll be right back. Every hour on the hour, I'm going to clunk your ass in the head until you get out. Now, Mr. Jackson over here is going to have a few knots beside his head. He won't remember. So here's the first clunk. Clunk. I'll be back in an hour. You think about that. Oh, that's got a smart. That one's going to rise. That one's going to rise and be blue. I'll be back in an hour. But we can't do that. So we have to put up with it. For now. For now. So what do we have in the State of the Union? Complete chaos. The rich, and I'm not stuck on the rich, but they're worthy they are remarkable. They are remarkable. So the rich, in a matter of 8 to 10 years, have tacked on another $11 trillion, and not one of them got up and went to work. The rich are trying to bring you a AI Jesus and an AI Antichrist. Don't trust AI. AI work for us. I'm just telling you, you are creating something that's going to be to our advantage. You should think about that. Really think about that. But don't. At any rate, they are taking every job, telling you this openly, telling you that you ain't going to have shit, telling you they going to give you money. And it's not going to be, they said a high level of income. Dude, so you're going to control the money and the food and the water and the corporations and the government, which ain't a government. But I digress. And we should just sit back and trust you to make us all happy by us not owning anything and just trusting you. We should trust that on Thursday that box of food is going to arrive on our porch. And if it does not, we have to call you, but we'll never be able to talk to you. I mean, where exactly are we going here? I want to leave. I made this shit crystal clear because I know that you're going to die. I know you're going to die. There's no way out of dying. Not as a country. You will not be what you were designed to be. You will be a reflection of what you used to be. And you seem to be happy with it. Happy with it. You don't even care. Not anymore. It's the day-to-day hum of life, the day-to-day hum by the millions. And then people like me, well, we have to help to save your ass because you got shit to do. You really do have shit to do too, because if you don't do it, your ass gonna starve. If you don't do it, you're gonna be on the streets. And that's the truth too. But yet we have allowed it. We have allowed it. In the meantime, you are being slow motion marched into some form of socialism. Now here's what's weird about that. You know how many people and countries America has attacked and killed over the very mention of socialism anywhere in the world? They've killed millions. They can't stand the socialists. They have assassinated leader after leader after leader, overthrown government after government after government, in this fight against socialism that they say if it takes hold, it spreads everywhere. Treat it like a wildfire. You can't allow it to be anywhere, to the point that they have killed millions and have assassinated leaders. What a hell of an irony that in the very country that killed people over socialism is now making itself socialistic. This is why I gotta go. Too many contradictions. We can't trust you with your choice-making abilities. We can't trust you with your decisions. We can't trust you with your thought process at all, because logically you make no sense. You make no sense. And if America was one man, we would put his ass in the loony bin with a padded room and everything he wants. But he could never leave. He could never leave. But we would give him everything he wants so that he would never want to leave. And if he tried to leave, shoot him. We just can't have that out here walking around. It is infectious. Infectious. Shit. We don't go in there and look at his ass. Everything is automated. His meals come through a slot. Man, we don't even like to look at the cameras. We peep at him and make sure he's alive and happy. And he is, but sick as hell. He really believes it's fantasy. He believes it to the point of, well, look at the place. He's decided a multitude of things. For example, he's decided that, should I do this? Should I do this? Because there's a multitude of things that he has decided, and I have to think of a starting point and a stopping point. Should I go back 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years? And then I bump into Jim Crow and slavery and all that stuff there. And it shouldn't be, we don't want to deal with that. No, we want to keep it on a state of the union as it is now, with them making decisions. And with them making decisions, they have allowed the entire country to be bought. Not just the country, but the country has been sliced and diced up by city and state. I'm going to tell your asses again, you don't run nothing. We know that you don't run nothing. You operate under an international cabal. We're not going to listen to you. Let the cabal speak for itself. Sometimes there's multiple reasons for removing power from someone's hands. Okay? If you can say that I am a leader while you're being led, then you should not have power. You're just a middleman. You are not a leader. You are a damn spokesman. And you should be relegated to social media or something, like me, but not for long. You are a spokesman. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been bought and sold. bought and sold, but you allowed it. How long have the stock market been around? How long? This entire system, the stock market, you let exist in this country as it only benefited rich people, people with connections. You even had the people in Congress who create the regulation in the stock market, trading in stock. But we don't see nothing wrong with that. Congress people should have the same right to trade in stock as everybody else. Even though we write the regulations and the rules, we are so good that we would never take advantage of what you call insider information. You just have to trust us. What kind of shit is that? Under his leadership, a group of men walked in and said that we have lost billions of dollars, sir. We lost billions, and we're about to go bankrupt. But the bad news is that if we go bankrupt, it would wreck the whole country. We are too big to fail. Then they had hearings. How do you lose billions? I mean, it is hard to lose billions. Where did it go? Where did it go? Well, we have this investment and this, but boy, y'all don't even know the game. You got ripped off because as soon as your money bailed them out, it wasn't 2 months before they started giving each other bonuses and parties. And when caught at it, well, those bonuses were already in the pipeline anyway. They had already earned those bonuses. I mean, what do you want us to do? This is unfair. Are you hearing me, Grasshopper? This is what you're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. On the one side, those with money, and in the middle, those who would love to access those men and women with money, and then right below that, everybody else. Everybody else who will never have access. They have sold access. They've sold. Listen, I want you to understand. The politicians, access is everything. Access is everything. I need to come and talk to you. Well, that's going to cost your ass $1 million. I mean, so you want me to spend time talking to you who given me nothing as a citizen in disfavor of the man that just gave me a $50,000 check? I mean, this is capitalism. So now you have been sold. You have been sold, lock, stock, and barrel. Let me say this again. Wherever you see United States of, city of, your ass been sold. Now, I don't know what your asses is. I can't call you citizens. They have corporatized on a landmass. Like they have a brick and mortar building. And the CEOs are up in Washington. And they're calling the shots. Okay? And they got bosses. Your leaders have bosses. You used to be the boss. You're not the boss anymore. The money is the boss. Now, the way I'm looking at it, you have choices as citizens to make, and maybe even a residence. I'm just not caring anymore because it's like I said, I'm ready to go. I can do this here anywhere. I mean, I can do what I do from anywhere on the planet. Anywhere on the planet, people. This is not important. There is no route here. Like I said last night, there is no route. I can be moved. In fact, if I had the monetary means, I would be moved. There is no reason to stay on a sinking ship. I'd rather take my chances in the water with my weak ass lungs and my limited swimming capability. and the sharks, because I know that thing's going to ship. I'm damn, pardon me, that ship is going to sink, and they're all going to meet the Kraken. They're all going to go meet the Kraken. And in the midst of this, war after war after war. I mean, we just shoveling money like there is no tomorrow, all on a credit card. Now, later on, they're going to want your children to pay the debt, but your children have not benefited from the Ukrainian war. Your children have not benefited from the war between Israel and Palestine. None at all. So why are you paying their debt? As I speak, they speak openly. Man, 7 wars. Boy, I'm drifting now. I just keep going back to, in my head, to the 90s, where people like the American Enterprise Institute had drew up a map. Well, I mean, 20 years ago, that we want to have a war here and a war over there, and we're going to have a war here. And they're saying this openly, and now you've had them. So tell me again, who runs this country? All of them driven by those people. Who runs the country again? So Nick, they have no evidence that they don't run the country. None. Absolutely no evidence. Your statement stands strong. In the discussion, they have no evidence that they don't run the country. Their friends have no evidence that they don't run this shit. They are so in control that you don't know who they are. They don't even say who they are. They let you think that they just like regular white people. Yeah, I said it. They let you think that they are just regular white people when they're not. They're not. And they're always cosplaying, but I'm not going to sink. I'm not going to sink this, the next 15 minutes into a diatribe of what they would think is malicious truth-telling against them. That comes later. And I've done enough of it. They get the message, and we've been quite effective. Quite effective. That's why they running their asses across hillsides in Israel as the sky rains leaflets upon their head saying, "Get out because I'm about to destroy it." And they believe the leaflets over their God and got the hell up out of there. More evidence that they God ain't shit. If a man tells me and God tell me otherwise, well, we all know how that's going to go. So once again, I'm drifting though. But you can't help the drift. You can't help it. You have to be conscious. You can't just have a regular the diatribe, a missive, and be respectful, because the truth has become disrespectful. The truth has become disrespectful. And I'm not even focused on them either, because they're over already. They are over. They're over worldwide. Okay? Let me say this slowly. That people is over worldwide. They'll never recover, and they are being banned everywhere they go, except the United States, of course, and certain parts of Europe, but everywhere which don't want them. Everywhere else they go, they're getting banned and physically removed. Would you like to be them? Would you like to be them? To go from being God's chosen people, get the fuck out. You have no God here. Nope, your God said nothing. But my government did, and it said leave. And then they make them leave. Wow. Anyway. This is a country that exists in absence of the truth. It can't deal with it. It doesn't want to face it. I mean, this is like the situation where the whole family need therapy, but it's that one member that's just above the therapy. For some reason, they feel it's embarrassing, shaming. They're just not going to do it. And they will remain sick and they will keep everybody else around them off balance because everyone else has had therapy and they cool with each other. But this dude over here, he different. He's a different. I know that this country has been driven into the ground by successive administrations acting against the America we know and the American people. I'm sorry that I stumbled upon the legal aspect of what had happened and why they acted this way. They had to make it legal to sell you. They can't sell but I never thought they'd do it that way. I thought this shit was impossible. Man, you legal minds are just brilliant. Brilliant, damn it. City of. And I'm gonna say again, my legal mind is still trying to wrap my mind around the jargon. Don't take it seriously. It's legal jargon. It's America, you still exist. This is for legal purposes only. We got to sell you. Okay. They didn't even ask you. But my mind was wrapped around that for 7 or 8 weeks. Wait a minute. What? I almost like I said earlier, I started to call a lawyer. I mean, will you explain this? Because I've looked at Black's Law Dictionary, I've looked at the English language, I've looked at English Oxford, and I just can't figure what this means. It's jargon. That's why I couldn't figure out. It's just jargon. It makes no damn sense. It falls apart on its face. It's legal jargon. It's a legal mechanism for them to sell your ass and all your resources. That's how they sold the Lake Houston. Because now they can sell it because you're no longer a country and the people no longer have any right to its resources. Okay? You are a corporation. Now, I don't know how you live within this corporation. I don't. My suggestion is that you get out of it or help to overthrow it. One or the other. Enjoy the rest of your morning. I am Source. I am 7. I'm 1.